forward. Lovely. So we will start with our foam roller under our neck, because we were going to do some little neck release exercises. You want your knees bent up. So you're using it as a little cushion, but just at the base of the crown of your head and above the shoulders. So you want to hold it ever so loosely, just so it doesn't move away from you. And once you find a position that you're relatively comfortable in, just allow your body to relax a little bit, relaxing the shoulders, allowing the rib cage to soften and slightly knit together, thinking about the pelvic floor lifting into the body. A slight draw of the tummy button in towards the spine as usual, and then you're going to say no. So very slowly and only as far as is comfortable, you're going to nod your head to one side, bring it back to center, and then over to the other side and center. And as things start to ease off a bit, if there are any crunches or tension, you can take that no movement ever so slightly bigger. That's it. And then on your next nod to the side, if you nod to the side and then drop your chin towards your chest really slowly to extend the stretch, then back up and recenter your head. So nodding to the side, nod the chin down towards your chest or shoulder, maybe just and back to center. And a couple more of these. And it should feel rather nice, loosening any tension off before class. One more to each side to balance yourselves up, nice and slow, using your whole breath, keeping those abs engaged, the ribs engaged, soften the shoulders. And then after your last one, you can come to sitting and we will start the more challenging side of things, but still nice and small. So we're going to have the roller long in the middle of the mat. You're going to park your bottom at the very, very end of it. Sit nice and tall. And then hands either side. Think about just drawing tummy button into the spine to roll back onto the roller, and you want your head supported and you want your neck long. And you can bring your feet a little bit further into the body and hip width apart as normal. And when you're lying on here, you can see immediately my lower back is arched. You want to think about knitting the ribs together, finding that nice neutral position, bony points of your hips at the front to the ceiling. Hands loosely on the floor, and then we will do little pelvic tilts. So same as normal, just curling your pubic bone towards you, just to soften the lower back into the roller, and then restack. And again, breathing out and breathing in. And we'll stay at this level, just so you can start to get used to how the roller's feeling. A little back massage. And if you feel that your chin migrates up to the ceiling, just lengthen your neck away again as you keep working. Same thing, so breathing out, curling the pubic bone towards you, breathing in, restacking all the time, thinking, keeping the ribs knitted in together to avoid any arch of the back. Couple more. After this last one, we're going to move the hips from side to side. So again, knitting the ribs down. We're just going to drop the hip one way without rolling the roller too much. Bring them back to the ceiling and then drop the hip the other way. Again, keeping the shoulders as relaxed as possible. Dropping one way, then the other. If you want to challenge your balance at this point, you can just hover your arms off the floor. That's not necessary, so it's more important to make sure the shoulders are relaxed. We're just working the lower half, getting some movement into the pelvis. And after this last one, you can turn it into a little pelvic circle or a clock. So just make some little circles, incorporating the pelvic tilt. You can have a little arch of the back as the pubic bone reaches away from you at the bottom of the circle. So about 10 one way, and then reverse the direction. So you're going through that little rock from side to side. You're going through the little pelvic tilt, trying to keep yourself stable on the roller as much as possible. Using your breath, keeping those ribs knotted or knitted together, not knotted. We don't want tension. Jackie, nod your chin a little bit more, lengthen the back of your neck if you can. When you think you've finished your circles, give me a thumbs up. No rush from anybody. Keep breathing. Keep noticing how your body's feeling. And just enjoy. Just take a moment to breathe while we all finish. And then just for a little bit extra balance, not balance challenge, but just to feel how the roller feels, you can rock the whole thing from side to side. So imagine, especially on a day like today and everything we're missing, that you're on a nice little lilo or a little boat. And again, if you can, hover your arms off the floor, just so you're controlling the roller with your body, keeping those ribs knitted, tummy button drawing into the spine, just rocking from side to side. Trying not to get seasick, but imagine you're on a beautiful Mediterranean or exotic sea, Maldives, Seychelles, anywhere that you might dream of. So many dreams. And then come to center, and we will think about doing a little bit more pelvic tilting. So feet hip width apart and breathing out. tummy button to spine. You should be nice and warmed up so you can peel off back to shoulder level. Breath in at the top. Think of softening through the chest. And you can really feel working through your spine, keeping the pubic bone curl towards you until the very last moment. And again, any tension in the neck, reset that. So the back of your neck is long along the roller. And if you've moved up the roller and you find your head is off the end, shuffle down. Using your breath. And you can have a play with your feet position because you might find you start to cramp a little bit. Yes, I can see Jackie. Happened to me, which is why I stopped. Using your breath, that's it, Elaine, lovely. So breathing out, curl the pubic bone towards you, peel off. Trying to work through each individual vertebra as much as possible. That's it, nice and slow and controlled. Good. Elaine, a little bit more pelvic tilt at the top, so pubic bone curling towards you. Two more. That's it, Jeanette, lovely. Good. Final time. And then we'll bring our arms up to the ceiling, palms facing each other, keeping them straight as possible. Just allow the shoulders to drop around the roller. And again, knitting the ribs together, keeping the back from arching, then reach to the ceiling. So a lovely protraction and then retraction, but everything happening from the shoulder blades. So you can probably see my left elbow happily bending away. It wants to stay straight, so all the work is happening in the back of the shoulders, the scapula, and all those muscles micromanaging the movement. And it's interesting, you'll feel that one side maybe is coming down around the roller before the other. Really focus on trying to get both arms and both shoulder blades working in unison. So I like to breathe in as I reach, breathe out, drawing those shoulder blades round. Straight arms, keeping those elbows straight. Keeping the upper shoulder away from the ears. Couple more. And from there, we'll do a lovely hug. So across the body, you're not going to reach the mat, but aim to reach fingers to the mat either side. Open into a T, keeping the ribs down, and cross the other way. So we're stretching out around the shoulder joint, around the upper arms, and to a T. Breathing out to hug. Keeping tummy button drawing in as you breathe in and open. And hug. And open. And final hug. And open to a T. And bring your arms back to the ceiling. Allow the arms to be straight. Allow them to hang in the shoulder joints. I'm going to take both arms, if they will, towards your ears, keeping those ribs down. Breath in to hold, breathe out, draw them back to the ceiling. And again, breathing in, take the arms towards your ears, keeping the ribs engaged, and breathing out, back to the ceiling. Make sure you reset your shoulders, they're not creeping up to your ears. It's the arms that are going behind your head towards your ears. Breathing out, tummy button to spine, bring them back to the ceiling. Final time, take them overhead. And here we can leave them and let them hang behind your head ever so slightly. Breath in, breath out. Then bend the elbows with your hands still behind your head. Draw the elbows in towards back pockets. So doing little chicken wings or little snow angels, and then reach them away. All the time, keeping the ribs knitted so the back doesn't arch. Nice and slow, controlled breath. That's it. You're having to control and hold the arms because they probably won't be near the floor. Good. A beautiful stretch of the front of the chest that's happening here. And the next time the elbows are down towards your back pockets, keep them bent and then press your forearms towards each other, so above your chest in a little pec press. And breathing in to open again. Keeping the ribs engaged, tummy button spine, press in. So imagine some force. We've used the bands last week, and the tension that you feel on those, that's the same tension you want to imagine. And it's amazing what imagination will do and create some extra force and muscle work. Breathing out to close in, breathing in to open. Keeping tummy buttons down. That's it. 2 more. And then final one. If you're happy to stay on the roller, feel free. If not, just come off and have a little break. And the next exercise we'll do is in the same position, and you can either keep your feet flat on the floor, tummy button engaged, and just peel one foot off and place it down, and then the other foot. Otherwise, bringing into tabletop, knees together, and we'll do our toe taps here. So you want to balance. You don't want to be gripping the floor, but you can have hands lightly on the floor. You want to try and keep tension away from the shoulder area. So we're really, really working our abs here. So set yourself up for success. Oh, we'll started, that's good. So this time toe tapping, and it, as always, slightly harder if you want to take the legs further away from your body and from your roller. So you're having to really nail your tummy button through to the spine behind. And of course, if you want that extra challenge, you can try and hover your arms off the floor or one arm off the floor, but you might end up in a nice big mess on the floor yourself. That's it, lovely. Breathing, breathing, breathing. Breathing in to tap, breathing out, tummy button to spine to bring the leg back. Looking fabulously stable. And change position ever so slightly. So flexed foot, you're going to aim the heel to the floor and bring it back. So this time, take your imagination to the back of your leg and bottom as that foot goes down. That's it. Good. Lovely, Elaine, good. Fabulous. Keeping those tummy buttons drawing into the body. Think the knitting of the ribs together to make sure the back isn't arching. And again, always at any point, if you're getting uncomfortable, come off the roller, have a little stretch, and then reset yourself up again, joining in whenever. One more on each side. And then relax vaguely. So check your positioning if you're still on the roller. Nice long neck. And we're going to do arm and leg slides. So we're just going to peel one foot off the floor and bring one arm to the ceiling and then extend it away. Back to the ceiling and down. And then changing sides without gripping the floor, without rolling the roller. Really find some extension once you get the movement. And if you want, you can hover the other arm off the floor as well. All the time thinking, knitting those ribs down, tummy button to spine. So you don't have to reach the floor with the leg. You're extending the leg and hovering it off and holding it up. And allowing the arms to be heavy in the shoulder socket. Keeping the ribs engaged, tummy button to spine to make sure the back doesn't arch. And then extend the leg away, Jeanette. So it's long off the floor. You're doing the right thing. So that's the challenge of keeping the back down, is as the leg extends. And of course, staying on the roller. Make sure that lower back is firmly placed on the roller. There's no arch happening. Neck's long, shoulders relaxed. Lovely. 2 more on each side. Good, Jackie. Lovely, Elaine. Good changeover. Brilliant. So before we do the next stuff, just roll over onto your side, roll off the roller, and just hug your knees in. Have a little squidge around. Just for a bit of light relief, because we're going straight back on it. Exactly the same positioning as we were before. Trust me so I can be seen. So walking yourself down. And this time we're going to do some lovely curl ups. So exactly the same thing. You want to keep those ribs knitted, tummy button into the body. Hands behind head. And again, feet slightly wider than hip width, but not really wide, just enough to give you a bit of extra support. And as you breathe out, same thing as normal. You want to keep the base of your pelvis on the roller, and then breathing in to take yourself back down. So all the time, knitting those ribs together, sliding them down. The roller gives some great feedback. And of course, you're fighting that rocking from side to side as well. So the whole body is working hard. So you don't have to come up too high. Breathing out to curl forward. Elaine, you can have hands behind your head. That will help your neck. Keeping the ribs down, keeping the lower back stable, Keeping the pelvis down. That's it, lovely. All making light work of this. Wonderfully strong. That's it, lovely. As ever, 2 more. And then we will move on to our obliques. So breathing out, you want to roll the top half ever so slightly over the roller and then curl up again, keeping the tailbone down, the ribs knitted. Back to center and over to the other side. So you want, think rolling one way first and then curling up. So quite a little micromanagement balance challenge as well. That's why it's nice, so slow, you've got control and less chance of doing any damage. Good. That's it, lovely. Good, Jeanette. Good, Jackie. That's it, Lane. Good. Keep breathing, keep those ribs engaged, keep the tummy button to spine, keep the chins nodded, keep the shoulders relaxed. Keep smiling, keep breathing. Nearly there. One more to each side. Good, Jackie. That's looking really well held and stable. And then when you've done your last one, again, gently roll off to one side, off the roller. Hug your knees in. Oh, beautifully done. And just allow yourself to breathe. And then we've got a nice little coordination challenge going on. So you're going to have feet on the roller. One leg, oh, cramp already. That doesn't bode well, does it? I'll do it the other way. Yeah, 1 foot on the roller, 1 leg in the air. Extend the leg in the air away. Then roll the roller away and free leg to the ceiling. If you want to, you can do a little baton down and then you change. So you're just extending a leg away from you, rolling the roller in, rolling the roller out as the leg comes to the ceiling. Beat it down. If, like me, you've got a clunky hip, just make the beat a little bit smaller. So nice little coordination challenge. Good. And you might need to readjust your roller at any time. Good, Elaine. Really try and straighten the roller leg so long as you can get it. So we're getting some nice stretch. Couple more on this side. All the time keeping that tummy button to spine action going, shoulders relaxed. And after your last one, change sides and see if that side has more control or less control, less clunking of the hip in my case, less cramp. Extending one leg away, the roller comes in. Once you get in a nice rhythm, it's quite meditative, I find. I love this one on my reformer. Don't forget to breathe. That's it, good. Couple more. And then the chance for cramp increases. So we're going to bridge. Oh, not my favorite thing on the roller, but hey, it's good for us. So if you do get cramp, just work without. And remember, obviously the roller will roll away, so you will need to continue to be mindful of that. So soles of the feet on the roller in the middle of it. You want to think narrowing into the body, thinking ribs knitting down, lifting up, squeezing the bum and the hamstring, knees over toes, shoulders relaxed, and then coming back down again in one movement. So in, up and away. Don't allow your bum to go too high so your ribs are up to the ceiling. You want to think long and low. That's it. Good. And make sure you can shake your head when you're up in the bridge so you're not too far onto your neck, you're just on your shoulders. That's it, good. Oh, lovely. Seriously, if it is too much, work without, have a rest at any point. A few more of these ones. And again, if you want to just work without arms on the floor, that's fine. And then let's try single leg. So we're going to come into a bridge first, then without dropping the hips, just going to lift one leg up, place it down, and you can come down all the time, keeping those ribs, keeping the bum squeezing. Oh, I see, can't do it on my left leg. Oh, God. So yes, it'll highlight any weaknesses and imperfections you may have. And it's just a case of noticing those. Then they can be worked on or worked around. We've all got them. That's a lovely Jeanette. Good, Elaine. Lovely, Jackie. And again, if you feel your roller is rolling away from you, bring it in a bit. Never be afraid to adjust the position. Relax the shoulders, just a couple more of these ones. It's seriously hideous, I know. You're doing so well, Jackie. And then we will relax. So after that, the last one, you will take the roller underneath your shins. Flex your feet, then point your feet. Allow the shoulders to sink into the mat. So it's a little bit of massage on the shins. You can play around with the positioning so you get into the really meaty area. And if you want to, just roll your legs a little bit. So although we've been working the hamstrings, it's often the shins that will, not the shins, sorry, I'm talking rubbish, aren't I? The calves. Oh, dear me. That feel it the most. Okay. Then, we're going to activate our serratus muscles around our ribs. So you can come off the roller because we're going to do some nice planky work. So you're going to need some strength through the shoulders and the arms. So I want you to just bend the elbow, bring the arm up in front of you, and just press the forearm, keeping the shoulder away from the ears. So you've got pressure from the palm into the arm, and you should feel muscles down here activating. So it's that orange under armpit thing I keep talking about, and then release. So you're sort of holding it for a count of 10. And it's the feeling of under the armpit, down the ribs that you're going to need for our planking work. So do 3 sets on each side. And then wiggle and change sides. So palm, press palm into the forearm, forearm into the palm, keeping the shoulders away from the ears. And then release. 2 more, press and press. Relax, final time, really focusing on all that engagement down the side of your body. Okay, so this one, going to turn around, have our shins, going to be on our forearms, have the shins on the roller, and you're going to have a round back, so a bit like a cat stretch. And if this is really, really too uncomfortable, do a cat stretch instead. And then you're just going to draw the knees into the body, keeping the back round. So breathing out, tummy sucking into the body, drawing the knees in towards the chest and taking them back to the starting position. So you're not moving your back. All the work is coming through your stomach and the abdominal area. And you're not sinking into the shoulders because the sides of our bodies, the ribs, are working hard. It's not the most pain-free. Elaine, come down the roller so you're not on your knees. I want to save the knees, don't want to hurt the knees. That's it. Good. So you're drawing the knees into the body as you breathe out, sucking the stomach into the body as well. That's it, Jeanette. Good. Good, Jackie. That's it, Elaine. That's good. Just make sure you're not on your knees. Anybody. One more. And then put your knees down. We've got different starting positions for our planks. So we can be on our thighs and forearms and use it more of a massage, but sinking pressure into the forearms, tummy button, into the body. And you're just rocking forward and back. So again, oranges under armpits. If you want a little bit more work, it's back on the shins or towards the ankles or even the feet. And you would have long arms. And again, rocking forward and back or just hold it. And you can be on forearms if you wish, which again takes the pressure off, but you want to think oranges under armpits. Well, Jackie, good. That's it, Elaine, good. All the time thinking tummy button drawing into the spine. That's it, Jeanette. Think side of the body, lift your head, Jeanette, a little bit. That's it, nice long line, good. Good, Jackie. Wonderful. Couple more. And then relax. So bend your knees, come back off the roller for a short while. So then we have a little push-up session. Oh dear. See if I can do this. So if it's too much on the wrists, just stay off the roller and come onto your knees, and you can just have your ankles resting. And we're going to start with just elbows to the side. If you're on the roller, you want to come up nice and tall, creases of the elbows facing each other. You've got to really suck up the tummy button. And again, same position options. You can be on your thighs, so there's less weight to lift. If it's blinking hard work, yeah, it's really tough on the wrist. So just take a few, do a few, perhaps come back to the side position. That's it, Elaine, good. Good, Jackie. Brilliant, then change it up a bit. So triceps, so creases of the elbows facing front, and you're bending the elbows back. So they're close to the body. She says only managing one, so do not worry. If I were you, I'd come onto your thighs, or yes, do. That's good, Jackie, that's all right. Good, Elaine. It's toughy. I know, it's so tough. Do a couple more that you're happy with. Don't overdo it. And then sit back when you've had enough and just release the wrists. And then hug an arm across the body. Breathe and then change sides. It's never going to get worse than that, I promise you. That's the peak. So nice bits, she says. We'll have a little stretch out. So sitting on the roller, make sure there's some space behind you. Nice and tall, ribs engaged, tummy engaged, feet in a little V, so your heels are together, possibly a little bit closer into the body. And then you're going to press, no, not so into the body. Extend your legs, so still with the feet together, and you're going to stretch forward. And then roll back to sitting. So you're thinking inner thighs squeezing together, a little bit of a spine stretch. So you can either have heels together or maybe soles of feet together. And then the toes will separate a little bit. So it's a nice little massage for the glutes and the very upper thigh. So sitting nice and tall, keeping those ribs engaged at all times, then you're sending the tailbone underneath you as you reach forward. That's it, lovely. One more. We can't do nice stuff for too long. And then coming to sitting, you can have legs slightly separated if you want. Again, find that nice, tall, strong position. Arms out to the side. We don't do many of these. So Jackie, take care with the rotation. We're going to breathe in to rotate one way and bend the elbow, just 3 pulses, and come to sitting forward again. So breathing in, pulse. All the time keeping tummy button to spine. This is where the roller actually makes the exercise a lot nicer. because it gives you some height, releases the hip flexors, allows you to move a bit easier and feel where we're trying to get the rotation. That's it, lovely. All the time, tummy button to spine, keeping long neck, crown of the head reaching to the ceiling, thinking nice and tall. One more to each direction. Jack, if it's too much, just stop and relax each time. And then legs nice and wide. We will do our saw. So arms are either side of the legs. Same thing, breathing in to rotate, breathe out, stretch forward, reach the little toe, keep both bum cheeks on the roller. Breathe in to stack, breathe out to center. Breathe in to rotate, breathe out to reach. Breathe in to restack and center. Rotate, breathe out to reach the little toe. See, I love doing this one on the roller, it's so much easier. Get that nice flow and rhythm of the movement. Now, so keep shoulders down, away from the ears. Breathing out to reach the little toe. Breathe in to restack. Breathe out to center. One more to each side. That's it. Good. And we're going to stay with the roller under our bottoms. We're going to come the other side of it first. And again, this is where the roller comes into its own to really help. So you want it under your pelvis, just around the sacrum area and the tailbone. Want knitted ribs, holding either side. And we're going to bring one knee into tabletop, then the other knee, extend the legs to the ceiling. And we'll do our scissors, so 2 little pulses as the legs reach away. And you can still have bent legs if you can't straighten them. But again, this having the height allows a little bit of extra movement. And you only want to take the legs as far as you can control both of them. So if one's way to the floor, but the other one's nowhere near your head, keep sort of in line with each other, so to speak, equidistant. Just a couple more. And we'll change that into a helicopter. So scissor, scissor, open the legs out into a V, round, and then scissor, and scissor, and round. Scissor, scissor, open and round. Scissor, scissor, open and round. Scissor, scissor, open and round. And scissor, and scissor, and open and round. Then turn it into a bicycle. So stretching one leg to the ceiling, bending the knee, paw the floor. And for this one, although you're still keeping your ribs knitted, tummy button to spine, it's a lovely stretch for that hip flexor of the long leg reaching towards the floor. That's it. And then change direction. So flex the feet. And you're pressing away with the heel, bending the knees into the body, but going through a lovely long stretch of the leg. That's it. Final one. Legs to the ceiling, holding onto the roller. We do some little double leg circles. So keeping the ribs engaged, tummy button to spine, take the legs towards the room away from you. And we'll do 5 in each direction. So you don't want to arch your back. You want to keep control. So don't allow the legs to go too low. Last one. And then the other way. So out to the side, squeeze together. center, out. You find your heels naturally turn to kiss each other at the bottom of this circle. 2 more. Good. Then bend the knees in. Lost my microphone, sorry. And then come off the roller. Okay. So we will then start to wind down a little bit. But we will do a little bit of side work. So having the roller on to one end of you, you're going to have the bottom leg with the foot flat against the roller, top leg controlling it. You're going to be on your forearm, or you can come down, whichever is more comfy. And we're going to do a shell, so it's not going to feel exactly the same. We want to think about both hips facing forward. Again, think about the orange under armpit bit. And we're going to open the knee and close the knee down. On this third one, so open the knee, we're going to roll the roller away to stretch out and then draw it back in with control, not like I did. The same thing. So pattern of 3, 3 and 2. So not sinking into the shoulder, and 1, keep the knee open, extend the leg and draw it back in. That's it. 3 and 2 and 1, extend the leg, draw it back in. Final time. 3 and 2 and 1, extend the leg. Bizarrely painful. Then bring the underneath leg up on the roller, keeping the top leg crossed on top, staying on your forearm. Nice space between the shoulder and the ear, because we're going to come up into a side plank, and we're just going to hold it there for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Bend the knees, come down. Good. Switch it over. That wasn't too grim, was it? Back on the forearm, underneath leg bent up, top foot to control the roller. Again, thinking orange under armpits, hips, front of the hips facing forward. And then we'll open the knee, close the knee, open and close, open and close. Sorry, can't count either. And extend the leg away, controlling the roller. And again, just fiddle around with the position if it's not working for you. 3, extend and roll away. Bring it back in. It does get into those little muscles, I find. Can't talk and count, so hey ho. And final time. Don't sink into the shoulders. Keep the underneath waist away from the mat. Good. And then bring that underneath leg onto the roller. Top leg over. Change your position if you need to. Ready to come into the side plank. So nice long, you're drawing up from under the ribs. That's it, good. And 5 and 4 and 3 and 2 and 1. Fabulous. So we've done forward plank, side plank, just leaves back plank to do. So either on your forearms, and actually it's probably much easier if you can, by your wrists, and just squeeze the bum to lift and hold. If you want to come up onto the arms, feel free. Make sure there's a little bit of give in the elbows and down. And as we're here, we might as well just try rocking forward and back ever so slightly. A little bit of calf muscle, don't sink into the shoulders, keep tall. And then come down. Wonderful, well done, okay. Let's go back to have the roller under our pelvis and we'll start to stretch out a little bit. So, no, it's probably best to lie down first. And literally, we're going to focus on stretching out the front of the hip flexor. So grab behind one knee and just draw it into the body. Allow the shoulders to be relaxed. And breathe. It's always nice to use the foam roller for relaxing, then change legs. Either put your feet down in between or just change in the air, whatever is comfy. And really allow the leg that's reaching for the floor to open. Oh, that feels so good. And then feet down. So roll the roller away, come up to sitting. And you want to find a position first where the roller is underneath the shoulder blades. And you're going to have your hands behind your head, knees bent up. And it sounds like it's going to be hideous, but it's not, I promise. You're going to lift your bum, and then you're just going to roll and extend your head and shoulders back towards the floor and rock forward and back ever so slightly. So you really want to support your head. Just for a few, and you can place your pelvis down, sit up a bit, ready to extend the back over, lift your bum, and roll forward and back. Not too far down the spine, it's around the big shoulder blades, the upper ribs. Sorry, my eyes are closed because the sun is very warm and in them, which is lovely. Pelvis down. And then come to sitting, one more set, extend the back. So you're allowing the ribs to curve this time, lifting the bum. And one more set of just rolling forward and back for a little while. That's it. And then finish. Come to sitting. And you can either come to sitting cross-legged or however is comfy. For me, it's one leg bent forward. Have the roller to the side. And we'll finish with mermaid and then thread the needle. So we're going to roll the roller away from us. Extend the arm up and over. And roll it back. A little bit of side bending. So really think, get some bend in the ribs. You don't have to go too far with the roller. It's just a little aim, guide. One more. And then scoot it over the other side. Set yourself up. And then roll it away. So really today, the planking was only the hardest pinnacle, wasn't it really? Because it's too hot to work too hard, I think. And then keeping the roller there, coming onto hands and knees. We're doing hand on the floor, both hands on the floor, one arm out to the side, the opposite arm to the roller. And you just thread it through and just use the roller again to roll away, stretching out the other way. So again, bend the standing arm. Just use the roller as a guide. And one more. Again, it's quite nice. Different dynamic to normal. Change sides with the roller. And we'll do the same thing. So we're reaching the back of the hand onto the roller, rolling it away to allow us to reach the elbow towards the mat. May or may not get there. Stand out. And two more. Breathing out. Allow the shoulder to drop towards the mat. Breathing in to roll the roller back. Arm out to the side. And then final time. And then back. And relax. It is all over as ever. So many more things I could put in. Have to do another class.